A government marking its 5th anniversary with a victory parade through the capital. Flags up, Victory Day, banners everywhere. Now, picture that same government quietly burning on two fronts, one underground, one inside its own head. On August 15, Taliban officials gathered at Kabul's Loya Jirga Hall to mark 5 years back in powers. But behind that celebratory photo op sits a story that barely made it into the coverage. The first fire is underground, or more precisely in the ground itself. The UN estimates that nearly 21.9 million Afghans, close to half the population, will need humanitarian assistance in 2026. The country is now in its 6th straight year of drought, with roughly 4.7 million people one step from famine. A 6.0 magnitude earthquake tore through the eastern provinces of Kunar, Nangarhar and Laghman last August, flattering entire villages. The International Rescue Committee says the quake struck a country already reeling from global aid cuts. Funding shortfalls have shrunk the number of people its teams can reach by roughly 2/3 in a single year. Only a quarter of the $1.71 billion UN appeal for 2026 has been funded so far. Layered on top of that is a wave of returnees. OCHA and the UN Development Program say nearly 2.9 million Afghans were forced back from Pakistan and Iran in 2025, many of them deported outright. That influx has pushed another 1.4 million people into poverty. The economy did grow, but barely, just 1.9%, while the population is expanding far faster. Per capita income is actually falling. In plain terms, the country's numbers are growing, its people are falling behind. Now the second fire, the one burning inside the Taliban itself. In linked audio obtained by BBC World Service, Supreme Leader 𝗞𝗲𝘆𝘀 is heard warning his own officials that continued internal division could mean the emirate will collapse. The report, built on interviews with roughly 100 current and former Taliban members, local sources and analysts, lays out two rival centers of power. Kandahar, where Akhundzada and his hardline inner circle want strict isolation from the outside world, and Kabul, where Prime Minister Hassan Akhund, Interior Minister Sirajuddin Haqqani and Defense Minister Mohammad Yaqub favor at least limited engagement abroad. That tension broke into the open most visibly last September. Akhundzada, calling the internet un-Islamic, ordered it shut down nationwide. Within 48 hours, pressure from ministers in Kabul forced the Prime Minister himself to reverse the order and restore access. Analysts say an open reversal like that has no real precedent in the Taliban's history. Michael Simple, a former EU and UN advisor on Afghanistan, says the movement has long guarded a tightly controlled image of secrecy and unity, and the fact that cracks are now surfacing publicly signals real strain underneath. So where does that leave things? 5 years after seizing Kabul at gunpoint, the same movement is now fighting on two fronts at once. On one side, a population that can't eat, can't keep a roof over its head, and isn't safe even coming home. On the other, a quiet power struggle within its own ranks, slowly working its own way to public view. However high the victory flags fly, the crack in the ground and the crack in leadership are both widening at the same time. The question is, which gives way first, the country or the regime itself?